All right, welcome back to Currency 365. All right, so the world news. All right, so looking at the Asian markets, okay, you got the Shanghai, the Hang Seng, the Nikkei 225. The Nikkei 225 is down 724 points. Okay, and that's about 3%, 3.8%. You got the Seng down 326 points. Hang Seng is down 165 points. Even Australia is down 105 points. Shanghai only down 33 points. But Asian markets are bleeding red. All right, and this is September 1st. Okay, so September 1st, we got the Asian markets and also Australian bleeding red. Okay, just taking a look at the markets over there. I think the Dow futures are down about 250 points for the Western. Okay, for American markets. So September is starting off the way we expected, red. Okay, we're headed into a historical month, and a lot of things are going to happen. And we're about to end the Shemitah here on the 13th, so we expect what we're expecting, okay? So let's get into some other news here. I don't know about this news right here because it says legal expert. I don't know what legal expert it is, though, because people in Iraq just call themselves whatever they want to be called, and you can't trust these articles because some of these people are for Maliki and the regime, so you can't really trust it, okay? But legal expert, the return of Nur al-Maliki to parliament does not mean innocence. Okay, so that's a good headline. That's a good headline to capture people's attention. Okay, because even if he returns to parliament, which most likely he won't, it doesn't mean that he's innocent. Doesn't mean that he gets to escape. All the genocide, the money laundering, all the corruption, all the killings that he has done. Okay, it doesn't mean that. Okay, so even if he somehow did come back and take somebody's position because he bribed them to leave or forced them to leave their position, and he takes the position. This is how desperate Maliki is. He's forcing people to leave their positions, or he's trying to pay off somebody to leave their position so he can get immunity. That's how much corrupt he is. So for anybody that's still saying Maliki hasn't done anything wrong, then why is he trying to buy people off their positions in parliament so he can get immunity if he hasn't done anything wrong? How come he just doesn't stand on his own and say, I've done nothing wrong and I'll be proven innocent in court? That's not what he's doing. He's looking all around the world for immunity, for protection. He's trying to buy people out so he doesn't, so he can keep his immunity, which is not going to happen. And he's a madman. He's acting like a man that is guilty. Okay, he's definitely not acting like a man that is innocent. Okay. So it says the return of Nur al-Maliki, deputy in the parliament, Iraqi parliament, ordered carries no legal violation. While does not mean therefore acquitted of the charges against him, he explained that the court can demand that the Iraqi parliament lift the immunity off of al-Maliki and submit it to eliminate about the charges against him and provide the commission on inquiry in the fall of Mosul. The final results to the Iraqi Parliament representatives, where the report al-Maliki name of the accused caused the fall of Mosul. Now, if you know this man caused the fall of Mosul and you have evidence and he's part of the name, why is he even able to run around, talk to Iran, try to buy people out? How is he even getting? Why isn't his money frozen? Why is he still able to do the things he's doing? Why is he sitting next to Abadi and these guys in meetings? Your name is on the fall of Mosul. It's the top name on the fall of Mosul. You should be arrested on the spot and you should be tried for genocide and all types of crimes by now. So I know the three presidencies had emergency meeting tonight or last night, which was Monday. Okay, so let's see. Hopefully they saw, they discussed Maliki in that meeting. All right, so it says under the control of Daesh, who controlled the Islamic State, Daesh the city of Mosul in June 2014 after a large withdrawal of Iraqi forces. Okay, the report stated that the former Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki faced his orders to Iraqi army to withdraw from the city of Mosul. Of course they did. Why would 7,000 troops just put down their weapons and flee the land from 1,500 people? Matter of fact, it might have been more than 7. It could have been 70,000 troops that Iraq had, and they just flee from 1,500 people. That's an order that was given, okay? Nobody's that stupid, okay, Maliki? Especially Maliki saying it wasn't me, it was, okay, Maliki. Yeah, it wasn't you. It's ridiculous. Because if it wasn't you, then why didn't you order the troops to get their butts back up, go back and grab their weapons immediately and fight ISIS? You never made that command. Look, if there was a command given by somebody else, and you're the prime minister, and you heard about that command, and you saw what your troops did, you should have immediately came on every radio and TV station and ordered the troops to pick up their weapons, go back to Mosul, and fight ISIS. We outnumbered them by damn near 100 times. That order, that demand was never given. Thank you. That's all. I mean, that's all you have to say. That's all you have to say. The order for the Iraqi people, the Iraqi troops, to go back to Mosul as soon as he found out about what was going on, he should have ordered them on national TV and through the radio to make the whole world know that it wasn't him that gave those orders, and to cover his butt. He never gave those orders. When he found out that Mosul was being taken over by 1,500 ISIS members and his troops had dropped their weapons and he did not do nothing but smile and laugh, because he knew he was going to delay the revaluation of the currency. He was going to delay the prosperity of the people. He was going to delay Iraq for years. He knew it. And Obama knew it. They all knew it. So it is what it is. But so don't say that you didn't know that you were doing that, because once you got those orders, you sat there and you smiled and you didn't force your troops to go back to pick up their weapons and fight ISIS, which you outnumbered by 100 times. So it is what it is. He's definitely guilty, and he's trying to put it on other people, which is not going to happen. All right. So we know that three presidencies met this evening. Okay. And let's see. So the three presidencies confirmed the approval of the National Guard and the federal with economic reforms. Okay, let me see. It says Mosul, the president and Prime Minister Abadi and the Parliament Speaker Jabari met at the Peace Palace in Baghdad on Monday evening, and during which they discussed the security situations and file reforms and ways to strengthen state building and issues related to the completion of the legislations. According to the presidential statement received, the meeting expressed support for particular steps that meet the interests of the Iraqi people to accomplish what was voted on government and parliamentary reforms. And it says the meeting saw the importance of the completion of key legislations, including the National Guard law and the federal court law and the National Reconciliation law. So hold up, this doesn't even make sense. How did the meeting get these approval of these laws? Or did those three guys approve the law and then they're going to bring it to Parliament when they bring it to Parliament? and then hopefully Parliament passes the law. Because it doesn't make sense. It's saying that they confirmed the approval of these laws, these three laws, but yet they're not in Parliament. They're just talking within each other. So maybe they're saying, look, we three approved these laws. Now let's bring them to Parliament and let's make sure the rest of Parliament approves these laws immediately. So hopefully by it's the first now. So hopefully by next Tuesday, the 8th, we have the National Guard, the Federal Court, and the National Reconciliation Laws all approved. Okay, because these three are saying right now that they have approved it. Okay, I don't know what that means though. See, Parliament member proposes announcement of Port of Full as a shareholding company. Alright, so let's see. It says, suggested the Economic and Investment Commission and Parliament member Abdul Salam Al-Maliki, this is a different guy, says securing large cash liquidity through the announcement of the Port of Full as a shareholding company sold its shares for ways the stock market to the citizens directly, noting that the citizens will be a giant project owner and return is beneficial and also benefit for the money within development projects back to the Iraqi economy. Okay, that's really cool. Okay, this port is supposed to, I guess this port is supposed to be like a nice economic port. So if this, and this is why they're doing it as they're launching it for as a company for shareholders. So basically, the Iraqi people are going to be able to get shares of Port of Fa. I think it's FAW. I'm definitely saying the name wrong, but this port is supposed to grow like 45% of increase of Iraq's GDP. So this will definitely bring a lot of wealth to the citizens if they can hold shares in the company, okay? So that's great news, okay? It says confirm the existence of more than 41 trillion dinar, datar, Iraqi cash distribute between the private banks, okay? That translation is way off, okay? So the available statistics indicate that the existence of the clutter of more than 80 trillion dinars have a trader outside banks. Okay, so what do you call it? Translation is way off, so I'm not even going to continue reading that. But it's good to see that the shareholders, Iraq will be able to be shareholders of this port, which is going to grow. They're estimating the growth of 45% GDP increase. So that's good news, and the Iraq people will definitely be able to benefit off of it. So, all right, that's really, really good, and that just tells you where Iraq's headed as well, and what the life of the citizens are going to be in the near future. So that's cool. Indian banks adopt Basel III norms in a phased-out manner. Okay, so we know every bank that's going, it has to be Basel III. We thought every big bank, it was supposed to be Basel III, but it looks like an Indian bank has not been Basel III yet and is now adopting Basel III norms, okay, and in a phased manner. Okay, so that's cool. So India's a currency that we've been looking at, and we think is just not appreciated enough. And if they get their contracts with Iran and China, and they do their things with the BRICS, I think you can see, if they want to, you can see India currency rise in the future here in the reset. So maybe it resets itself a little higher than it is right now. We don't, it's at a price that maybe we could see a nice reset on India's currency. We don't know yet because we don't know exactly what they want to do, but definitely if their banks are going Basel III, we might be able to see some type of reset with the Indian currency, okay? Rupee. All right, so let's see what else we got here. All right, Iran sanctions. Looks like Iran sanctions are coming off, as we already expected. Okay, it says the 5+1, this is the world powers, accept single stage sanction release. Okay, it says chief of the Atomic Energy Organization of Iran says the world powers have agreed to immediately lift all sanctions on Iran as part of the deal of the country's nuclear program. Now, we know immediately doesn't really mean like today, okay? They're most likely they're talking about the end of October, okay? Basically November 1st. November 1st was probably because Iran's oil sanctions are going to be lifted November 1st, okay? So in November. So this makes sense that they would lift everything if they're going to lift their oil, okay? So end of October, we're going to basically see the lifting of the Iranian sanctions, okay? I'm going to talk more about I guess Iran in another video. I don't have time here to continue talking about Iran, okay? So let's get to the demonstrators, okay? Monday we saw the Iraqi demonstrators, okay? They were at the federal court building. The actual is the Supreme Judicial Council building. They were there in Baghdad, and they were demanding the I can never say this word right. Okay, they were demanding the resign of the guy who's the head of the judicial system. Okay, matter of fact, let me get his name real quick here. Yeah, Medhat al-Mahmoud. Okay, so the demonstrators, there was a bunch of them, front of the building of the Supreme Judicial Council building, demanding the resignation of president of the council, Medhat al-Mahmoud. This guy said he was going to resign, and he lied to the people. Okay, he said he was going to resign. He put his resignation in, and then he backtracked it out of it by lying to the people that he's not going anywhere. Okay, we see this all the time. These people in Iraqi parliament are not for the people. Okay, we see it all the time. The people demand things. They tell them one thing and then they do another. Maliki has done it all his time in office, and his people do the exact same thing. This one was very blatant. He put his resignation into the world. All the people around the world saw his resignation, and then he tells people in parliament, I ain't going nowhere. Okay, and then he tells the Iraqi people, I ain't going nowhere. Like he can't be touched. Okay? I think he's gonna find out the hard way that anybody can be touched, okay? Don't matter if you got 100 bodyguards or not, you can be touched, okay? Especially with a bomb go off, you can definitely be touched. Okay, so let's look into that. Let's watch that carefully, and let's see how that plays out, because he needs to go. Because when he goes, Maliki then has nobody really left in power to manipulate or to have his back. Okay, he's got nobody left, and and that will be the end of Maliki. This is why this man is fighting so hard to stay in power, because he's Maliki's last hope. Okay, so when he goes, then Maliki's all by himself. And then we got to see Maliki go, and then we'll probably see Alak go. All right, the meeting was last night for the presidency, so let's see if they talked about Alak, because Alak's year mark is September 2nd. Okay, he came in September 2nd, 2014. His year mark is September 2nd, 2015. So let's see if they talked about Alak last night in the reforms, and let's see if we see any type of surprise announcement, okay, tomorrow or today, because today is September 1st, or tomorrow, September 2nd. Let's see if we see any type of surprises, okay, if it's Alak or if it's anything about to do with the reforms